Return Bubbles, your flight attendant, to her fully upright and locked position. Oh, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat and buckle up. Seat backs and tray tables in their full upright position. It's another episode of Skip Happens. A view from 30,000 feet. From the first music lesson to the first paid gig to signing the deal, it's the journey that is the life of an artist. Now, here's your captain and co-captain, a.k.a. your hosts, Skip Clark and Deb Lamphere.
And there she is. Hello, Deb. How are you?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. You ready? Wait, we're going to do this. Hang on. Here we go.
Girl, I gotta see you tonight. Yellow light flipping on and off, interrupting that good night kissing. We wanted 5 more minutes. Damn straight, you're killing me, man. You know I've always been your biggest fan. I'm in between. Friday night, wild and quiet Sunday morning. This is it. This is now. This is what I've been talking about.
And there he is, right there. We're going to get right to it. You know what it is? It's Scotty McCreery, everybody. All right. So,
what's up? You're playing them
Welcome,
all, man. I
welcome.
love it.
I know when I see the smile on your face and I'm playing those songs, and many of those, at least 4 of those were #1 hits, and another one quickly climbing the chart damn straight, and I see the smile on your face. It's like, wow. It's
Yeah,
just,
man.
you know, that makes me feel good. How are you, Scotty?
Man, I'm good. You know, we're busy right now. We're on the road a lot and playing shows and kind of starting on the new record already. So everything is moving in a good direction. We're all good here.
Good. Now, I don't know how this conversation's going to go for the next 30 minutes or so. It could be odd because New York Rangers and the and the Hurricanes, you know, we're in upstate New York and
Yeah.
you're in the mountains of the Carolinas. So, and I know you're a huge fan. So.
Yeah, I'm a big old Canes fan. They haven't started quite yet, so we can be friends tonight.
Uh-oh. And when do they actually start? Like soon or?
No.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Oh,
Yeah.
tomorrow night. So we might not be friends tomorrow night. Okay.
No,
Yeah, but
no.
we're good
Okay.
tonight. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're on speaking terms, and good thing it's not football season because I was told that you're a big Patriots fan, but you know, Deb is the Titans, and I got to say I'm a Bills. So
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, it's again, it's the off season, but yeah, my dad grew up in New England, so we're basically in my family all things Boston, minus the Bruins for me because we literally live across the street from the Hurricanes. We walk to most of the games, so it's kind of it's home for us.
Yeah.
seriously, you can walk. You like walk to the. That's awesome.
Yeah. It really it's great for being able to drink as many beers as you
I-
want during the game too.
Dude, I was just going to go there. I mean,
Yeah.
how convenient is that?
Mhm.
Oh,
That is-
dude, location is primo
everything.
for being close to there for sure. So
I have to ask you because the Carolinas, of course, with hockey, you probably, I know you get a little bit of snow and all that, nothing like we get here, but do they tailgate for these hockey games or is that mostly just football?
oh, they do. Yeah, the last game I was at last week, we were there 4 or 5 hours early, and you know we had the grill going, and everybody's ready to go. It's all season long, but it's more so playoffs more than anything when everybody's out there.
Now, are you because you're Scotty McCreery? Let's just face it. I mean, you're a superstar. You've got a lot going for you. You've got fans that just adore you and love you. When you go and you tailgate, are you actually tailgating like with everybody else?
Yeah, we're hanging. I mean, for sure. Yeah, it's all my
Really?
buddies that I grew up with, and I mean, for the most part, I've never really left Raleigh. Raleigh will always be home for me, and
Yeah.
I think folks are kind of used to seeing me there, so they'll say, "Hey." Everybody always says, "Hey," but it's just kind of a fist bump, like a "Go Canes, man!" Like just kind of in passing more than anything.
So they let you have your good time and your own time and your own space, which is nice.
Yeah, they know. I mean, my wife's hanging out, her friends, my buddies.
that's
They know we're all just there for the same reasons. So.
Now, are you going to be able to watch the whole series or do you have to run out and do a show somewhere?
I think I'll make game 1 tomorrow. Game 2, we're going down to Georgia. Me and my buddies, we do twice a year, like a biannual golf tournament. We call it the State Cup. So we're doing that this weekend. So I missed game 2. Thought about going up to New York for 3 or 4, but we'll have to. That might be a game time decision. We'll see. We'll see if we can make it.
Yeah, I was wondering how that was going to work out, because when I tried to get this this podcast with you, Scotty, they were like, "Well, this all depends on the hurricanes." You know,
Did they tell you that?
Yes, and it was last week. They were like, "We got to check his schedule. Wait a minute, let's get a hold of his manager. Oh no, we can't give you a date yet. It all depends on what happens." That was the playoff meeting.
I knew I could do one of 2 days for sure. I 100% knew I was in. I just was. Tomorrow night is game 1. I'll be ready to rock tomorrow by probably 2 or 3 p.m.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great stuff. Let's talk about you, though, a little bit of music. Of course, you were the champion in Idol. We're not even going to touch. Everybody already knows that was back in 2011. That got you rolling. You've had 4 consecutive number ones. And now Damn Straight is just, dude, from my side of things, the phone calls, the text messages, the requests for that song. It's unbelievable. It's got to be your fastest climbing song ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's there's something different with this one for sure. I mean, the moment I heard it, I knew it kind of stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, did I hear that right? Like, I loved it on the first listen. But yeah, I think especially in country music, and it should be everywhere. But I mean, if you love country music, you love George Strait, and the way this song is written, the song titles are in there, but they're not just dropped to drop them. They like make sense for the story. Which I don't think I've heard a song written like that before. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of George Strait fans gravitating towards it, and I'm glad they're loving it.
Well, you're a huge George Strait fan, so I mean, let's just look at that.
He was
goes without saying.
Yeah, he was my very first concert I went to. It was him, Reba McEntire, Leanne Womack. It was
and you just
real first show, and I just remember sitting there watching him in the arena and being like, man, how cool is that? He has his own songs, 60 of them, or number ones at least. And people are there crowding an arena, singing his songs back to him, dancing. Like, that was a dream, of mine when I was a teenager. And it's cool to have a little taste of what I don't think anybody will touch.
No, you're on your way, though. You're on your way. I mean, did you ever think that each song that you put out could actually be as good as the one before? Do you ever think?
You're always trying to like set a new bar, for myself. I'm a competitive person. I grew up, baseball and music were my 2 loves. And so I'm always competing with myself, like you just said, you want the next single you put out to be better than your last. So you're trying, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You never really know until it gets out there and the fans respond, but you're always trying.
I know you're competitive because we watched you play ping pong a couple of years.
That's right.
Man, I had it.
Oh, you was there this year too. You were there this year.
Yes. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed this year. Like, as the reigning champion, normally like in the NCAA tournament or something, like the number 1 seed gets to play like the 16 seed.
Right. That didn't happen.
No, they put me right up against the toughest guy in the whole field on the first round. So Dave Haywood, man, he's the guy to beat in ping pong.
Yeah,
he's serious. He was serious.
Yeah, I mean, Lady 8 carries a ping pong table on the road with him. Like,
that's not fair. They don't give you that heads up. That's not fair, dude.
No, man, thank you. Preach it.
Yeah, next year we're gonna be talking to the CRS people and say, dude, you got to do it this way. And did you go up against Kid Rock in that too? I don't remember. Did you play against Kid?
I didn't play him, but I was watching him. He had some game. Yeah,
he had a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, had a little bit. Hey, not too long ago, you happened to go to London and Glasgow, and you were performing over there, and you had somebody open up for you, and she's making a visit with me tomorrow, Callista Clark. What a talent.
Unbelievable. I'm not sure I've ever heard somebody sing with the control that she's got. I mean, she's doing runs that I can't even dream of hitting. Like, literally, it's not in my dreams, the runs that she's hitting with her voice. It's unbelievable. She's so talented and a great songwriter as well. So it was fun to kind of get to know her and watch her perform. And she's still so young. I mean, she's got a ways to go. She's on her way.
Yeah. She just turned 18. It's just unbelievable. And we're doing a lunchtime event with her tomorrow. So just looking forward to that. And I saw that she was opening up for you overseas. How was that overseas trip?
was awesome. We did 3 dates of the C2C festival, and it was me, Darius, and Brett Young, Tennille Towns. It was so fun getting to travel together and just see different sites in the world. I mean, places we hadn't been before, like Dublin, and the McCreerys, shocker, are from Ireland, so it was cool to go there and kind of experience what Ireland is all about, have a Guinness and do all the things. And then like the ferry rides between the countries, like you're up at 3 a.m. playing dominoes with Darius Rucker, and like it's things you don't think about, but it's memories that you kind of hold on to. You
gotta hang on. And they go by so fast, and it's memories you'll never forget. I mean, especially
Absolutely.
you're still, you still get, man, you got it all going. But being overseas, we hear that the country fans over there are just, you have to see it to believe it. Is that true?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I kind of, the first time I went over there, I was maybe skeptical is the right word. Like I just wasn't sure. Is there really a market for country music? Are they listening to these songs? And just after night one, I mean, they sang every word to every song. They were requesting like deep album cuts from like my first record. And I'm like saying, I don't even think I remember those words.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Let me get my iPhone out. Let me look
literally
for you.
azlyrics.com. Let me look up my own songs. But yeah, they really, if they are invested in you, they're all in, and they're an awesome crowd.
That's cool. I hear they sing those songs right back to you, and it's got to be a feeling that's out of this world when you do that. Hey, where's Moose?
He's probably laying right outside the door here, hearing me talk, wondering what I'm doing. I
was told to ask you about Moose. That's all.
Yeah, he's the man. He loves it. There's so much space. He just runs around, and then when it gets like warm in the summer, we'll take him to like some waterfalls and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a swimming dog. I mean, I've seen that dog's.
What breed is he?
He's a yellow lab. So
I mean,
it's
you were gonna say that.
Water dog. Like I've seen him swim for 2 hours straight before without stopping. And he just goes. He just goes.
We have a yellow, so I know exactly where you're coming from. So. Yeah, the best. And any of the labs are just the chocolate, the black, the yellow. I mean, they're great family dogs. They're just good all the way around. So
all love with them. It's all love.
Yeah. All love. Absolutely all love. Hey, did you beat Darius in golf, or did Darius kick your butt?
So we've only played a couple times, and I've gotten him and he's gotten me. So it's pretty even. Yeah, I mean, he's good. He plays all the time. For me, I don't get to play as much as him, but when you get to his level, you can kind of structure your schedule how you want to. But he's good. He's good out there.
Now, that's what I hear. I hear he's one heck of a golf player. So, of course, he's been doing it a little bit longer than you and I. So,
yeah, no kidding. He's got a good swing on him, though. We just did a tournament in last October with Jim Furyk, and it was us three and some other folks. And Darius, he took it to me that day. But before that, I had him.
Does he host a golf tournament?
Yeah.
In the summer, is it? I know I've seen it around. That's why I was asking. I thought it was him.
Yeah, he does the Darius. He does a couple. He does the Darius and Friends in Nashville, and then he does the Monday after the Masters, kind of as one of the first events of the year. So, if it's golf and it's anything to do with music, Darius is probably there.
Do you walk it or ride?
It depends. Love to ride if you're trying to have a good time. For me, I don't hit the gym probably as much as I should. So like sometimes I'll just walk it, and that's how I'll get my exercises on the golf course. So
I love it.
Yeah.
So you're in the mountains. Why are you there? That's like a hunting lodge, or a lodge where you get away from everything for a while, or what is it?
It's kind of a getaway. We grew up coming here to ski a lot, which, it's nothing like Colorado or anything, but we have a good number of slopes up here. But it wasn't until probably, a few years ago that we came here in the summertime and we're like, oh my gosh, it's 98 back home and it's 83 here. And there's hiking you can do. There's golf. There's, again, waterfalls and biking. Like there's all sorts of stuff to do. So it's kind of become like our little escape,
I love it.
to come
Dude,
hang out.
I love it.
Wait,
you got to do that.
The whole family is there? Is that what you were saying earlier? Or
I mean, me, my wife, and Moose. You know, me could be a
Oh,
Moose. So,
for some reason, I thought it was like a family reunion kind of thing earlier. So
a lot of times everybody will come up here and hang out. But this weekend, I had a show in
guys.
I had a show in Tennessee, right on the border. So Goodby came and picked me up, and we drove back here for just a couple
cool.
days.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Way to get away from it all.
Yeah.
I was reading something about. They sent me all these facts and stuff, but I saw one that I went, It was about curling. You've become a fan of curling?
Is that on my fact sheet that I'm a fan?
Let me look, because I do have it right here.
I do. I love it. Yeah, it's like.
How did I miss that one?
Okay, no. Scotty has become a big curling fan after watching the last few Olympics.
That's so funny. That's funny.
It's on your fact sheet.
I do love it. Yeah, it's my favorite Winter Olympic sport to watch. For Halloween this year, or last year, I guess, I was Matt Hamilton, who's an American curler. And so, yeah, I think if there's an Olympic sport I could potentially do, and granted, it's still probably way harder than I'm giving it credit for, but I think I might be able to do curling. But anything else, I'm just not close.
You know, I know here in the Northeast, they've actually got like rinks that are made just for curling, and they have these leagues. I didn't realize it till I want to say maybe about 2 years ago, and then a friend of mine was doing it, and she goes, "Yeah, we go curling," and I'm like, "You're doing what?"
That's their pastime.
Yes.
Next time I'm up there,
yeah, seriously,
I would love that. I didn't think they had that like south of Canada. I know, but you know, I like you. I watched it, and I'm like, all right, what's up with this? There's, you know, and it really wasn't that exciting. But then there's something about it that the way it's the puck or whatever that is that goes down the ice. Yeah,
you know, it's got to hit one
as it's going. You know, you're kind of on the edge of your seat. Yeah,
I want to be the guy like doing the broom as they go down. You know, make
sweep.
Sure it goes sweep.
Yeah,
sweep. I love it. Exactly. And you played baseball in high school, because we're a huge baseball family. So, see, I got the baseball. Right
yeah,
but
it was right there with guitar and music as my first love. And you know, I spent so much time, you know, probably 5 nights a week going to practice, playing games, traveling on the weekends. That's another thing that I always go back and just think of how, you know, rock stars my parents were to put up with me traveling all over the state, all over the country. They're taking me to these travel ball games, and you know, they were always there for me. So, but yeah, that's baseball cool. I could have gone like D3, you know. I definitely didn't have the stuff. I threw for my college that I went to, NC State. I threw for the coach, and he told me, he said, "Scotty, I got to tell you, you have a D1 slider, but you got a D4 fastball."
Oh, that's not what we want to hear. That's not what we want
I can take that. I can take that,
coach. Do you follow a team though? Are you like?
Yeah. I mean, again, I told you my pops is from New England, so the Red Sox have always kind of been my team. They're kind of disappointing us this year, you know. Not so great this year, but
here in Syracuse, we are the minor team, the AAA for the New York Mets, we're the Syracuse Mets, and so we're big New York Mets fans and Yankees, if that makes any sense. And Boston is like, we don't even talk about Boston.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't have even brought it up. Yeah.
That's like me talking about the Rangers and you, the Hurricanes. So it happens. Hey, so damn straight, man. I tell you, you put the album out here last year, right? That came out the end of last year. Now I'm thinking that off the top of my head, but that's doing really well. The album is that's on fire as well. Cut after cut after cut.
Yeah, well, thank you, man. This was a totally different kind of record as far as how we made it than I've ever done before. It was we had basically an entire album made, recorded, just about mastered, ready to rock. And then the world shuts down March of 2020, and all of a sudden we're all sitting at home. And for me, I passed the time just picking up a guitar and
I was going to ask what you did.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was learning a lot of my old like cover songs that I grew up learning. And then because I was against the Zoom writing, I did not want to write over Zoom. I was like, there's just no way this will work. You got to have the camaraderie in the room. And then finally I budged. And the very first day we wrote a song that I was just like, oh my gosh, this actually sounds good. So I wrote a lot of new songs, and I was like, guys, I think I like this stuff better than what I had before. So we scrapped the whole album
Oh
and
my
made the album that you hear, Same Truck, and that's what you hear today is on the Same Truck record.
So you're allowed to basically do that, just take the songs off that you don't like and throw all new music on there?
Because
I
we
mean,
hadn't put it out yet. Yeah, I mean, I definitely might have had to talk with the label a little bit about logistics and what had been paid for and hasn't. But
yeah.
we, at the end of the day, it's you got to love the music. You have to believe in it. And my label, luckily, they're a music label. They're all about the songs and the artists,
Yeah.
and so they were right on board with it and supported me through it.
That's
Good
great.
relationship, dude. Good relationship. What are some of the covers you'd like to perform?
Oh man, I'm all over.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I mean, check yes or no, any George Strait song.
Okay.
If you go see me in concert, a lot of times you're gonna hear me do a George song because that's just what I grew up playing. Right now we're taking a song that I wrote called "It Matters to Her," and then we're meshing it with "She's Not the Cheating Kind," the Brooks and Dunn song.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we'll go off the wall. Like for me, there's a song from The Fray called "Over My Head." It's like at the top of, I love that song. It gets me going. So I think last year, maybe a couple years ago, we were just like, let's throw that in there for the heck of it, So every now and then you just pull something random out there and just have fun with it.
Have you been able to hang with the King at all, George?
I've been around him a couple times. So the first time we ever talked was when I was on Idol. It was the finale, and it was me. I got to pick. Me and Lauren sang 3 songs at the finale. We got to pick one. The judges got to pick one, and one of our idols got to pick one. And so George was mine, and he called me up on his own. He was on his boat, like in the Caribbean fishing, and called me and said, "Hey man, appreciate you saying I'm your idol, and would love for you to sing Check Yes or No." So I've done that a lot since. But even like I think a year or two later, we were doing a show at the Ryman, and he was on as a surprise guest, and I didn't know he was going to be there. But I get a tap on my shoulder as I'm looking this way, and I turn around, and it's George, and he's like, "What's up, Scotty? How you doing?" I was like, "Oh my God."
Isn't that the coolest feeling in the world? And then they're tapping you on the shoulder, and you're actually just standing there looking at them and just
absolutely
eye to eye.
Yeah. Again, this was the guy. This was my first concert. Like this is the same guy that I watched on stage in front of 20,000 people, and I was just in awe. And now he's like saying, "What's up, Scotty?" And I'm like, "No, how do you even know what the heck?" Like, it should be backwards, but
no, that's
but he's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was standing behind him. It was at a show in Nashville. I forgot where I was, but he actually had like somebody dropped something on his shoulder. He had something on his shoulder, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what is that?" I think there's like a piece of lettuce on his shoulder, but I didn't want to like, knock it off or something. I'm like, "Oh my God, how do I tell George Strait he's got something on his shoulder?" I know it sounds crazy, but you're so intimidated. Most people would go, "Oh, dude, look, you got something on your shoulder or whatever," but it was George. Didn't know what to say.
It's different. Yeah. It's again, we're all human, and he puts his pants on one leg at a time as well. But at the end of the day, it is George Strait. That's cool. Yeah.
We're talking, as you can see, it's Scotty McCreery. I also read, and I thought this was so very, very cool, and I had no idea. You met your wife in kindergarten. You've known each other that long, since the age of what, 5 or 6?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Dude.
Yeah, it's awesome. Really, I think it's one of those fate things that we ended up together. We met when we were 5. We went all through elementary, middle school, high school, and we didn't date until senior year. But in her, we were always friends. But in her kindergarten diary, she literally has her name and my last name in hearts, like all over it. Like it's the wild. I try to remind her that when I'm in the doghouse, which doesn't always go well. But
when was the last time? When was the last time you were in the doghouse?
Oh my! When was the last time I wasn't? Yeah, I'll tell you. But no, it's always like she's so like chill that if she's ever upset at me, it's like I 100% did something or 100% messed up. Told her I'd be home from golf and at 6, and I got home at 9. And
that's a big no.
yeah. Like I always bring it. I always bring it on myself for sure. But normally it has to do with golf or the boys. Or
Sorry,
something.
honey, I was just having such a great game, and
Yeah.
the guys bought me a beer, and I only planned on staying for about 15, 20 minutes, and then
Yeah.
next thing I know, I just
3
blah
hours
blah blah.
later. Right.
Yeah, just
exactly.
or the guys in front of us played so slow, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to let you go here in a moment, but we do thank you for taking the time to hang with us tonight and talk about, of course, Damn Straight is kicking some butt, and great play on words with that song too. I mean, when I first heard it, being the radio guy, I'm like, Damn Straight, wait a minute. And then I, listening to the lyrics, like you said earlier, how it all just kind of goes together. But I do a little thing before we wrap it up. I call it the HLRP, the highest, the lowest, regret, and pride. So what is your highest point?
My highest point?
Highest moment in your life right now.
Okay.
Could be personal, could be, your music
Can
side.
I do a personal and a professional? I mean,
yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Best day of my life was June 16th, 2018, the day me and my wife got married. I knew we dated for years, since 2012. So I knew for a long time she was the one, but that was just an incredible day. But professionally, it's the day that 5 More Minutes went #1. And matter of fact, we were here in this condo in the mountains, and for the longest time, just having one single, just get one song to #1 at country radio. Like I could have cut it then, and I'd been like, okay, like I've done what I really wanted to do, because it got started so young, and it took years and years, and trying to just prove yourself and write songs and go through a label change where they had the song and didn't like it, and it's just like, man, I really believe in this song. And so the fact that we finally got it there, and it was that song, that to me will always kind of be a top moment for me.
That song is everybody's life, though. We all wish we had that 5 more minutes, and it couldn't have been set any better.
While we're talking about that, the lyrics in the song, you're talking about the score. What is? I'm trying to think.
No,
right.
I know
what is it really? Because it's like I hear it and I think it's one thing, but it's not.
Yeah. So everybody thinks. Yeah, you're spot on. Everybody thinks it is lost.
Oh.
2-9, but it's really it's not that. It's really lost state, like the state championship, 10-9.
10-9.
So yeah, so lost state 10. We didn't. My football team that year did go to the state championship. We did lose. The score was not 10-9, but you have to make it rhyme. I mean, you gotta give a little something.
Right. And you did that well. Yeah. You did it well. Cool.
Thank you.
How about the lowest? Is there one?
Lowest?
You don't have to have one if you don't. I mean, I get it.
For sure. It was kind of in that same vein of the 5 More Minutes thing. Was 2016. It was January. I was out there like mentoring I was the mentor on American Idol for the contestants that year. And the head of the record label in Los Angeles took me to dinner that night and was like, hey, this isn't going to be an enjoyable dinner. Your label in Nashville is going to drop you. And I just looked at him and kind of shell shocked and said, cool. And he said, not cool. I was like, oh, okay. It took me a second to even process it. But I just felt like we'd worked so hard, and tried and we could never break down the wall. And we kind of weren't seeing eye to eye anyways. So maybe I saw the writing on the wall. But man, it's just like, when you in that low moment, you're not really sure how you can ever really climb out of it. And so for at least 48 hours, I was pretty down. And then one day, I think I was like in the shower, and I was like, dude, like you're 23, 24, like you've got to do so many cool things. Like you're living the dream, like pull yourself up by the bootstraps and one foot in front of the other and see where you can get to. So, that's
absolutely.
That was a tough one.
Well, now they can kiss your butt because you've had 4 consecutive #1s and you're still going. So
I know.
I didn't say it. You did.
It's amazing how you could be. It's like being at one company and it just doesn't work out, and then you're at the next company in the corporate world and you're succeeding way up the ladder. But it's just like, what didn't they see?
And
they couldn't wait a little bit for.
Yeah, and it could be that, or I try to see positives, and maybe it just wasn't the right fit. And creatively, I know it wasn't, because we were seeing two different things. But then now, I'm with the company and with the label that it's like it fits like a glove, and we see eye to eye on everything. So
perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
That was just your stepping stone, anyway.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah,
sometimes I feel we have to have that happen because it makes us think a little bit differently. It forces us to say, "Hey, what the hell? All right, I'm better than that. I'm going to do this."
So.
Yeah, it makes you step back and evaluate things from 30,000 feet, and yeah, it really does. So
the journey of an artist. How about regret?
Regret. Trying to think. I've always said, like, my biggest regret. I know 5 More Minutes, the song, talks about football. Football was the massive sport at my high school. The whole town shut down for it. I was a baseball player and never did play football. So that was one that, like, I always think back to myself, like, man, why didn't you just put the pads on like one fall, like one summer? But I was always kind of the little guy, and I just felt like, man. And you see those hits on the NFL, like, man, if that happened to me, like, I'd still be sitting on the ground, like, trying to get back up. But that was one. And then trying to think professionally, there was a song called "Forget to Forget You" on my "See You Tonight" record that I still think could have been a big one. And I never got it out there. And that was probably 8 years ago, and I still think about that song.
Wow, that might mean something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I might have
time, dude.
That's true. That's true. There's no rules with it. There's no rules with music or with songs. So you never know.
And quickly, what about pride?
Proudest moment.
Yep.
Proudest moment. I would say. The fact my very first tour was Brad Paisley, and he taught me his tips and tricks of the road. And my favorite times, yes, on stage was awesome, but it was off stage, backstage with him talking that really kind of meant the most to me that year. And he told me how much his band meant to him, and that his band at that point, everybody was original. They'd been with him for 13 years. And I thought to myself that I wanted to be like that for me. And basically everybody in my band has been with me since day one. The newest guy in my band has been with us 9 years, I think.
Oh, wow. That says a lot about you as a person too.
Well, thank you. I mean, they're family, and and it's I honestly spend more time with them than I do my own blood family. So it's got to be that way. But yeah, those guys have been with me coming on 11 years now. So it's I'm very proud of that.
Very nice.
Now I'm going to ask you the hardest question, and I actually asked Priscilla this last night. And then we're going to wrap it up. The hardest question somebody's probably ever asked you.
Ready?
No. In 5 words, describe what you would like the rest of your life to be.
Ooh.
Told you it was going to be hard.
Yeah. Well, my life I try to center on at least 3: faith, family, and friends. That is like the middle. Maybe I'll say focus on faith, family, and friends.
There you go. That does it. Scotty McCreery, so cool that you took the time out to join us. You don't have to do this, but you do it. And you do it for your fans, and you do it for radio. And we definitely appreciate all that. And people like you just make my job so easy, being the guy on the radio, because we get to play the great music. For example, Damn Straight is out there now. And it's in just so you know, it's in a really good rotation. And you're getting a lot of spins.
I appreciate it more than you know.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you more than you know. So we hope to see you out on the road here real soon. I know Deb is in Nashville right now, but you're in the Carolinas. So
we missed each other, but we'll
I know, just barely. Yeah, I'll be there soon, I'm sure. Absolutely.
I'm sure you will. Scotty, stay healthy, stay safe. Give Moose a pet for us, and and the family. Just say hello from Syracuse. So we appreciate you being with us here on Skip Happens tonight. Thanks for joining us, my friend.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Enjoyed it, and
Thank
we
you.
will see y'all very soon.
All right, peace out, my friend.
Enjoy your vacation.
Yes.
Thanks.